Hi Jafar, it's lovely to see some more work from you. Really well done. I've had a read through already and it's looking really good. You have a high level of language, which is really perfect. What we'll do is have a look through and see if there's any amendments that we can make. So as normal, this one is a letter, which is great. You've obviously read that clearly in the question. It's taken the form of a letter, so that is a wonderful first step. So, dear Mr. Brown, I hope this letter finds you well. Great start to the letter, brilliant. It's nice to use those kind of nice phrases at the start that show letter conventions as well, so really well done. This letter is in regards to the quite serious problem that we are experiencing due to the persistent barking of your little dog Downy. Okay, well done. That is a perfect sentence. Okay, a nice use of regards as well, so in regards to is perfect, and persistent barking, due to as well. These are all great examples of vocabulary. Well done. In fact, everyone in our family loves her, and my son, Rodman, actually longs to play. Longs to play, so longs to do something, longs to play with her in the yard when your wife takes her out for a walk. Well done. What a fantastic start to the description. It's really good. I like the fact that you're using a positive in here as well, which is nice to see. And this great phrase, longs to do something, is brilliant. However, great. Her continuous barking at night disrupts our sleep, which is starting to impact our efficiency during the day. Fabulous. There are no problems there at all. Really, really good. In this regard, okay, I would be immensely grateful if you could think up a solution. Either think up a solution or think of a solution, one or the other. Yeah, solution rather than resolution, solution to this problem. Perhaps if you took her to a pet clinic, they could suggest a solution to keep her calm during the night. Okay, so pet clinic, we'd normally use veterinary clinic, okay? They could suggest a solution to keep her calm during the night, or we could just say at night. Okay, so next we've got, again, I apologise for any inconvenience that this might cause for you. Now, again, is slightly problematic because I don't think we've already apologised. Okay, so we could take out the again and just say I apologise for any inconvenience that this might cause for you. Okay, please don't hesitate to ask if we could offer any help in this regard. Okay, here, to avoid using any help in this regard, we could say, please don't hesitate to ask if we can help. Okay, if we can help. My wife is free and willing to give you a ride to a clinic if you need it. Well done, brilliant. Best regards. So regards, no capital R, just for best. Best with a capital, regards with a lowercase r. Jafar. Brilliant. And then here, we would use a capital Y. Here, your neighbour at apartment number 4. Okay. Well done. This is a really good piece of work. There are so many positives in here. There's very little to correct, in fact. So, a really positive step. Very well done. Let's look at your next piece then. Okay, this one is your second piece. I've seen your question at the top. We'll look at that one at the end. Okay, so we'll do the corrections and then we'll look at the question you've written at the top. So as the human race is unprecedentedly growing in population, and also due to its ever-escalating demand, the energy sources have become one of the more serious global concerns. Okay, good. Now, what I would say for this first sentence is that the growing population and the ever-escalating demand are interlinked. So, we could say, due to the unprecedented growth of the human race and its ever escalating demands, the energy sources have become energy sources have become one of the more serious global concerns. Okay, contrary to a proposition that any quest for new sustainable sources of energy will unstabilize this market, this should be destabilize this market. My perception is that the world is in desperate need of green energy because of both economic and environmental reasons. In this essay, I will elaborate on this issue. Now, it's a good introduction, but what strikes me here is that perhaps you're trying to use structures that are leading a little bit to confusion. Okay, so we've changed that first sentence. The second sentence, I think we just need to change some of the words slightly. So, contrary to a suggestion that new sustainable sources of energy will destabilize this market, my belief is that the world is in desperate need of green energy for economic and environmental reasons. In this essay, I will elaborate on this issue. Okay, so next one, while the world is now heavily dependent on fossil fuels, and because fossil fuels are subject to extinction by the next century, the matter of energy is in fact the matter of the future welfare for humanity. Okay, so similar to that introduction, it's almost like we've gone a little bit too complicated and lost the meaning of our sentence, if that makes sense. So, while the world is now heavily dependent on fossil fuels, so instead of while, I think here we would use as the world is now heavily dependent on fossil fuels, and because these fuels are due to run out instead of extinction, are due to run out by the next century, the matter of energy is also linked to the future welfare of humanity. Okay, so again, it's still a little bit complicated. So it might be that this is one that possibly you go back to, see possibly if you could split it into shorter sentences, perhaps. Is there a different structure that you could use? Okay, but there's a suggestion there for you. If the energy market permits the monopoly of oil, and if new sources of energy do not emerge, the price of energy will soar up to a level of catastrophe. Okay, good. You've got some really good ideas in here. It's good. So if the energy market permits the monopoly of oil, and if new sources of energy do not emerge, the price of energy will rise to a catastrophic level. So C-A-T-A-S-T-R-O-P-H-I-C, catastrophic level. All right. Now, just looking at that sentence from a structural point of view, if you can see, we've got energy 3 times. If the energy market, new sources of energy, the price of energy. Can you replace this with a pronoun anywhere? Okay, so we could say its price will rise to a catastrophic level, for example. New sustainable sources of energy could break this monopoly down, and they could reduce the energy price, an issue that in fact seems inevitable due to the economy of the energy sector. Okay, we're done. Again, lots of repetition of energy. Think about ways that you could change this to avoid it getting too repetitive. Okay. Let's just have another quick look at that one. Do not manage the price of energy will soar up to a catastrophic level. Okay, good. So, some changes there. Then we get on to this one. The matter of greenhouse gases and global warming, in addition, are the other factors that make the demand for green energy gravely serious. Alright then, so here we don't need the matter of, we can just say greenhouse gases and global warming, in addition, are other factors that make the demand for green energy serious. Okay, we don't really need both here, gravely serious, we could just say serious. The current rate of fossil fuel consumption and the sheer volume of CO2 and other pollutants that find their way into the atmosphere, and consequently the rate by which our planet is becoming warmer, could jeopardize the future of our planet and our race. Okay, again, this sentence starts to get a little bit confusing. It's like we're adding too many things on. So the current rate of fossil fuel consumption, the sheer volume of CO2, the other pollutants, and then the rate that the planet is getting warmer. So it becomes a little bit too complicated to follow. So we could say, I would make this shorter and say global warming, or the heating of our planet due to trapped CO2 gases and other pollutants, is jeopardizing the future of our planet and race. Hence, we shall strive to reach to sustainable sources of energy, like the energy of the sun or the wind, lest we ruin our habitat, the earth. Okay, hence... Okay, so instead of shall here, we need something stronger, so a modal verb that is stronger. So we must strive to use sustainable sources of energy, like solar or wind power, lest we ruin our habitat. Okay, we don't really need the earth there, because that one, obviously we know we live on the earth, so we can take that out, because that will then lower your words slightly as well. In conclusion, due to the scarcity of fossil fuels, and due to, so here we don't need to repeat due to the scarcity of fossil fuels and vulnerability of Earth, or we could say our planet, the human race must vigorously look for green energy sources. Then I would start a new sentence. Okay, this task, if not undertaken soon enough, could turn the lives of our descendants into a dreadful ordeal. This problem, I would say, unless undertaken soon enough, could turn the lives of our descendants into a dreadful ordeal. Instead of descendants, I would possibly say of future generations. So instead of our descendants, future generations. That way it's the same word count. So lives of future generations into a dreadful ordeal. Okay, so let's think about your question at the top, because it actually fits quite nicely here. So I persistently miss the time because I want to write in sophisticated words and structures. Hence, I always miss a chance to revise my essay. Is it more about rhetoric, or being mistake-free is more important? Should I write simpler but faster? Please help. I need at least a 7. Okay. Now, what I would say from those corrections there is that there is a feeling that you're trying to make your language more sophisticated, but losing your key points by doing that. Now, it's great to have sophisticated language, but if our essay is not cohesive and logical and with key points in there, then that sophisticated language won't help us. Okay, so we need to get a nice balance between the two. It isn't about being completely mistake-free, because if you were, then you wouldn't need to take the exam, okay? But it is not just about rhetoric either. Again, it is a balance between the two. You want to be accurate, or as accurate as you possibly can. You want to take some risks with your structures to show the examiner that you can use certain varied structures and not just ones that are kind of safe structures. So you do want to take risks with your structures, but not sacrifice your accuracy. Okay, so what I would say is to lower the sophisticated words and structures a little bit, get to the point where all of your facts and your evidence are on point, and then if you want to put in extra sophisticated elements, you can. Okay, but after you've got the amount of time you need, you've got the right number of words, because that is really important. Okay, So like I said, and to reiterate, it's getting the balance between the sophisticated structures, but also a low number of mistakes, a high level of accuracy, and answering the question. Okay, now I hope that answer helps. In terms of your writing today, the first piece was brilliant. The second piece, you've got all of the key ingredients. It's just that you need to essentially mix them in the right way. Okay, so using a couple of sophisticated phrases that you are confident to use, and also trying to get that word limit on point and the timing on point. Those are your key goals at the moment. Okay, but really great work, fantastic vocabulary, like I said, brilliant writing in your letter, really good, well done.